everyone. This is Bette, co-founder of Acala, Karura, and Lemina. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to be here. I'll talk about Acala today. Acala is the specialized DeFi blockchain and also the DeFi hub of Polkadot. This is perfect timing because Polkadot's canary network, Kusama, the first ever fully decentralized, secure, heterogeneously sharded blockchain, just started its shard launching process, or what we call Parachain launching process. So far, there are over 500,000 KSM, and that's equivalent to $250 million total value locked as network security bond for all of the projects going to launch on Kusama. And Karura, Acala's canary network alone is responsible for over $150 million total value locked. I will certainly share a little bit more on this later, but let's get an overview of Acala first. Before we dive in, let's look briefly at how we actually get here to set the context. It's often useful to reduce complex things into fundamentals and first principles. So let's start with Bitcoin. So in a sense, Bitcoin is just a single ledger, a specific application. It doesn't have much composability. Then we have Ethereum, everyone's familiar with. In a sense, it's a ledger plus a Ethereum virtual machine, which basically is a computer, allows developers to program applications on top of ledgers. Ethereum is one giant computer, or we can use an analogy, it's like a mainframe. Composability happens within the single chain. It's the mainframe era of blockchain. Now you want to ask what happens after mainframe. We subsequently have servers and cloud computings and an explosive development of Web 2 applications like Google, Uber, Facebook, etc. And blockchain is also entering into the cloud era. And Polkadot is that internet protocol for blockchains. It is the TCP IP of the decentralized web. And Polkadot provides shared security to all of its heterogeneous, or in other words, specialized shards called parachains. Each shard or each parachain, like Acala is one of the parachains, offers differentiated services that can be composed together to deliver the end user experience. For example, it is possible by one click of a button on an app, you can turn your Bitcoin to generate a dot staking yield without selling your Bitcoin and with added privacy preserved. As a user, the experience can be seamless, but behind the scene, that could have crossed 3 to 4 different blockchains from Bitcoin to Polkadot and Acala, and then to a privacy chain and back. And have consumed multiple services like asset bridges, stablecoin lending, liquid staking, and dark pool services. And that future is happening now. We believe the future will be multi-chain for sure, but also specialization trumps generalization. And it's this specialized blockchains will serve a particular domain really well. And that's where the real UX innovation will come from. And also these specialized blockchains will be composable at all levels. At the same time, upgrade is seamless and forkless. This is what it looks like under the hood. Polkadot provides the ledger, the trust and consensus as a service. It also provides cross-chain communication as a service. And Acala built on top of it as a specialized blockchain provides DeFi as a service. Let me elaborate. On launch, Acala will be an all-in-one DeFi blockchain network offering a suite of cross-chain financial applications that let users trade, issue self-service loans, become liquidity providers, access staking derivatives, and earn a variety of yields on their digital assets. The network is optimized for DeFi. For example, fees are payable in any supported tokens. When our collaborator, for example, Ampleforce, goes cross-chain and lands on Acala, Ample users can use Ample token as first-class fee token. And Acala is also well equipped with advanced features like automated scheduler and Oracle gateway to serve the growing demand for various real-world applications. Above all, Acala is an open platform. You can now build and deploy Solidity smart contracts and also later Wasm contracts to leverage all of its DeFi Legos built on top of Acala. And it can also leverage all the aggregated cross-chain liquidity to power more financial instruments. Beyond that, Acala's services are composable with other blockchain networks such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also about to launch Compound Gateway via bridges. And Acala is also composable with many other parachains, such as privacy chains, prediction markets, identity chains, meta universe, etc. And that's the beauty of the Polkadot design and its ecosystem. There are three core DeFi primitives on Acala. First is the liquid dot staking protocol. Very simply put, you can trustlessly and permissionlessly stake dot via Acala and let L dot token to become the receipt of your staking. It's a little bit like DAI and CDAI via lending and borrowing on Compound. Right? And the L dot token is the staking yield bearing token. You can transfer it, you can trade it, you can also use it as collateral to borrow stablecoin. It also gives you much better liquidity for your staked assets. The next protocol is the multi-collateralized stablecoin for Acala dollar. And this protocol basically allows you to use cross-chain assets such as DOT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially other assets, also LDOT, as collaterals to mint Acala dollar. If you use, of course, as I mentioned, LDOT as collateral, you might get a higher discounted or even free US dollar loan if the DOT staking yield is high enough. And the third primitive is the constant product decentralized exchange. This exchange is also the unified liquidity source for the entire network. For example, all the fees are settled via the DEX, and also the stablecoin protocol uses the DEX for liquidation in conjunction with the auction mechanism. Last but not least, there's the on-chain governance and treasury for Acala network. Treasury funds can be used to market making and also provide liquidity to bootstrap DeFi protocols and also obtain foreign tokens for critical access, such as obtain DOT to gain access to Polkadot's network security and owning stakes of other sovereign networks trustlessly and also in a sovereign manner. This is basically DAO 3.0, right? There you have Acala as the decentralized bank, serving many users, but more importantly, it will serve as the backbone financial infrastructure to power more open finance markets. And after this point, I would actually like to give everyone a quick demo of the Acala network. And here's the Acala testnet mandala. And this is the Explorer for the Acala network. And even for our testnet, you can see it's actually quite busy. This is Subscan Explorer. The testnet was launched about 2 months ago, so all the data, was kind of like completely from scratch since 2 months ago. It has now over 30,000 new accounts, over 400,000 transactions. Every few minutes, there are various different type of transactions happening on the chain, and these are all our community members trying things out. So let's go back to the platform. So as a brand new user, so if I go back to my wallet, as a brand new user, let's say I am a BTC hodler. I only have Bitcoin, and I've crossed Bitcoin from the Bitcoin blockchain. Right? So there's various bridges you can use. You can use the RAN VM to bridge your Bitcoin across, or you can use the common good, the Polka BTC or Inter BTC to bridge Bitcoin across. Yeah, so and then on Acala, you can use Bitcoin and any other supported tokens for that matter to pay for fees. So you don't need to hold the native tokens for any transactions. Yeah, so to start with, let me use my Bitcoin, there I have, to borrow some dollars, right? So let's say I'm going to borrow that much, and my borrow ability is about 2,800. So I'll be a bit conservative and borrow 1,800. Yeah, assess all the risk parameters, and I'm happy about it. Right, so this is the Polkadot JS extension, equivalent to the MetaMask for the Ethereum ecosystem. So yeah, so that's how fast it can get. Yeah. And obviously, I can pay back the loan or generate more stablecoin as I wish. Then I will actually use the stablecoin that I have borrowed to actually get some DOT. So let's say I use let's say 500 to get some DOT. Right. So now, without selling any of my Bitcoin, I'm in possession of some DOT. The next thing I will do is basically 4 dots. I will actually stake all of my DOT to enjoy, the 15% yield provided by Polkadot. Right. It's all done there. So now I'm in possession of some liquid DOT. And then what I can do is go back and collateralize the liquid DOT, right? Which is yield bearing 15%. And obviously I'm paying like a 4% interest rate. So that would be a pretty good deal for me if I want to do some leverage trading, etc. So you get the idea. Yeah, so let's go back to our presentation. Yeah, and I want to introduce you a little bit of the relationship between Acala and Karura. So similar to Kusama, which is the canary network of Polkadot, Karura is the sister network of Acala. And it is also the DeFi hub for Kusama. Everything launching on Acala will be trialed and also tested on Karura, but also at the same time, Karura will also foster a NFT and more creative economy that is in line with the Kusama ecosystems. And Acala and Karura, very fortunate, we collected a wide range of backers and also quite decentralized backers, such as Pantera, Parachain, Coinbase Ventures, Digital Currency Group, Parachain, One Confirmation, and many, many, many more. Right, they're not even listed here. And all of these folks have complementary expertise. Will be able to support Acala's long-term development and growth to really achieve our vision. And here are some Acala and Karura stats at a glance. So globally, we have over 250,000 community members, all channels combined. We also have many ecosystem partners that we've built across the past 2 years. We have collaborated with folks like Ramp Protocol to bring Bitcoin and assets into the Acala and Polkadot ecosystem. We work with folks like Ampleforce and a few other Ethereum teams so that they can open branches and land on Acala to get access to the wider Polkadot ecosystem. We've also worked with Compound, so we have received, the inaugural grant from Compound to actually bridge the Compound gateway, which is actually built on the same technology stack as Acala using Substrate. So we will be bridging Compound's multi-chain money market to Acala and Polkadot. We also partner with folks like Ganglet Network, who provides risk management and audits for DeFi protocols, notably, like MakerDAO and also Compound. So as I mentioned at the beginning, Polkadot's canary network Kusama is currently starting its Parachain or shard launching process. Ultimately, there will be like 100 shard being launched on Kusama. And Karura is aiming to win the very first Parachain slot to launch on Kusama first. It has now over $150 million total value locked for its crowd loan. And these values will be locked for nearly a year. And there are currently 13,000 unique accounts participated. So you're looking at the Kusama network here. And you can see all the projects participating in the crowd loan, and all the KSM has been locked on-chain. And the only way Karura to gain any value, because all of these tokens will be returned to the holders after a year, well, actually 48 weeks to be precise. The only way the Karura network to gain value is to create real value, to deliver its promise as a DeFi hub of the decentralized web, and also as a creative open finance platform for the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. And of course, do that collectively with Acala to create a more open, accessible, and fairer financial future for every person on the planet. So yeah, that's the beginning of it. You know, of course, those are what's happening and what's known, but I think the future will be made up of many things and collaborations that are unknown. And that's where the innovation, creativity, and collaboration will come into play. This is where ultimately, well, at least I hope, without the need to explain to my parents what I actually do for a living, they can enjoy the fruits of our innovation that will benefit their daily lives, right? And this would like to introduce you a new concept called Hi-Fi. This is a hybrid of DeFi and CeFi infrastructure that will accelerate this movement for real-world adoption. So we first introduced this Hi-Fi concept at Polkadot Decoded not too long ago. And then we've also recently announced our partnership with Current, a leading US fintech company serving people who are working to create a better future for themselves. And this partnership is the first of its kind. It will establish a new category of hybrid finance, or what we call Hi-Fi, that combines both traditional and decentralized financial applications for real-world adoption. We are, integrating decentralized infrastructure with Current's banking backend, bridging both traditional fiat and also the distributed ledger rails to bring a DeFi yield experience to Current's 3 million members. We already built a proof of concept demoed at Polkadot Decoded a couple of weeks ago. We probably don't have time to demo here, but basically, we built products based on a DOT staking economy, and you can have dollar-based fixed income and also variable yields, of course, and also turn staking reward into dollar incomes, potentially have a free lunch with it, and a variety of other products that can be built on top of Acala's various DeFi primitives. And Acala's DeFi infrastructure, more behind the scene is like this infrastructure will power a variety of value creation instruments and yield opportunities. The integration is built directly into the current core banking system. And this banking platform is designed to bridge a closed-loop fiat system to open platforms. And as closing remark, I think, with Polkadot as a decentralized web, and also Acala and Karura together as the decentralized finance engine, together will power a new global economy and empower individuals to create better and freer financial futures. And this is only just the beginning of a Hi-Fi, a hybrid finance future to make this a reality for everyone on the planet. Yeah, and thanks again for tuning in. And yeah, you can find more about Acala via our Twitter handle or on our website or various social channels. And thanks again.